Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. We got the skinny on what reportedly went on with Diddy and 4 Dicks. Come to find out that some crap jumped off. He was in the corner in the cut, puffing on a ciggy. And while he puffing, police walk up, they smell it, all types of crap jump off. And they shut the joint down, they shake the area down, and they find 3 cell phones. And that's what it was over. But first of all, let's hear what the report got to say about this. Let's go.
We have breaking news. Rapper Sean Diddy Combs is in solitary confinement after a source says he was involved in a prison fight. Combs is serving a 50-month sentence in a New Jersey prison for transporting sex workers. The source says the fight started with a remark from the other inmate. It's unclear how long Combs will be in solitary confinement. He's expected to be released from prison in 2028.
Now, so that's where we at with Diddy. All right. All right. So we're going to get right into this, right? So we know what went down with Diddy so far, right? So recap. He was smoking, police ran in, they shut the area down, they found 3 cell phones. Next thing you know, a dude stepped to him and tell him straight up, yo, I lost my phone that cost me $2-3 grand, and you going to pay for that because you know you ain't had no business smoking in that area. It's because of you my phone is taken. That's how it works in prison. You know what I mean? So we're going to say, this scenario happened because that's what they reporting. Right? Now, when that happened, dude going to tell him that he owned, dude going to tell him on man time, on prison time. Nah, I'm not paying for nothing. The police shook it down. They found the phone. They took the phone. You go deal with it with them. And he said, nah, but it's your actions. So I decided to do a little joint to break it down so that y'all could get a lesson out of this, because this is not even about the fight, right? This is not about the fight. Everybody online, that's all they talking about is the fight, right? They got it backwards. Let me explain that to you. The fight wasn't the story. The story started before the first punch was ever thrown. See, prison don't always explode because somebody woke up angry. A lot of times it explodes because one problem creates another, then another, then another. That's how prison works. And if the reports are accurate, this situation allegedly started after officers recovered what they call contraband. That's what they call a phone in prison, contraband, doing a search. Now, somebody's money's gone. Now, what should that man do about the money that's gone? Y'all put your verdict in the comments. Now, somebody's connection to home is gone. Somebody's sense of control is gone. And now everybody's looking around trying to decide who's responsible. Who do y'all think is responsible for that phone being gone? Diddy for smoking in that area, for the police for shaking it down and finding it, or for the dude putting it someplace that wasn't secure enough that the police was able to find it? Or maybe he just had it on the bed and jumped in the shower, put it on this pillow. He could have been slipping. And then now the police come and take the phone from under the pillow. When they take it from under the pillow, he looking at it like, oh, whoa. Diddy, you was smoking in the area. You paying me for that phone. He's like, nah, you was stupid putting it under the pillow. He said, yeah, but it's your actions that brought him down a tier to shake down my bed in the first place. And that's how that could play out. Now in prison, dudes say, man, I'm not paying nothing. Because that's like a soft extortion. You want me to pay because you was slipping and put your phone under your pillow. Now I want you to pay because you was slipping with smoking in the back area when you ain't had no business smoking in the back area. Could you imagine Diddy being reduced to a conversation like this, being the mogul that he is, sending dudes to walk across the Brooklyn Bridge to go get cheesecake? And now he have to decide if he's going to give a man $2-3 grand for a phone that he left on this pillow when he went in the shower. Or because he was smoking in the cut when he ain't had no business smoking in the cut. See how simple this play out? Now, let's get to the jewel in that. Now, the streets teaches people to think about today. Prison forces you to pay for yesterday. That's the jewel in that. You got to pay for what you did last. You left it under the pillow, you responsible. Nah, you were smoking, bong. See, that goes back and forth. Before you know it, I heard Diddy get it all choked out. You know? Now, the phone was never just a phone. Let's get that straight, huh? Let me teach you something today. Y'all look at a phone, an inmate might be looking at $1,000, because that's what it costs for the phone. Another man looking at the phone, the only way he talk to his child. Somebody else is looking at the business. He thought he still controlled from behind the wall with that phone. So when the phone disappears, he don't always see plastic. He sees loss, he sees frustration. He sees somebody who, in his mind, caused that loss. Whether that's fair or unfair, prison ain't always run on fairness. A lot of decisions get made off emotions. And that's what we're dealing with now, because Diddy had a decision to make at that moment. He could fight and say, screw that extortion, I'm not paying you nothing. You shouldn't have left it under your pillow. Or Sudi just said, man, what is it, $2,000 here, pay that. It's gonna cost me less, it's gonna cost me more to get out of the trouble that I'm gonna get in for whooping your ass because I'm getting ready to complete this RDAP program. Mind you, he's in RDAP. Diddy's supposed to be graduating on July 29th. And then he gets in a fight like on the 23rd, 22nd, something, whatever you rat bastards, put it in the comments. But he gets in a fight a week before he's supposed to graduate. A fight that could have been avoided by one, him not even smoking. Must have smoking in an unauthorized area to put other inmates' property in danger. But that was his choice. And that's the sad part. He could have just paid the $2-3 for the phone. Graduated from the program, got the year off, but instead now he don't get a year off. He lost that year off. So now Diddy ain't come home to 2028 sometime, when he had a chance of coming home November. So was he right or was he wrong is what I want the class to tell me today. Was he right for standing on prison man time? You notice I said prison before man time? Or was he wrong for not standing on civilian time? Businessman time. It's gonna cost me about $200,000 to get my lawyers on this to try and beat this case now. And he wants $3,000. Do I give him the $3,000 or give the lawyer the $200,000 to try and get this year back that I lost by trying to fight it, to say whatever they're gonna try and come up with, that they still gonna do what they wanna do, because that's how the BOP works. So y'all explain that to me. Now, the jewel in that is, right? Now, because you know, we always gotta give you all the jewel. Sometimes the brightest prison debt isn't money, it's blame. So that's a debt that dude trying to collect on. He's blaming Diddy for his phone being missing. This is where people who never did time get things confused. They think prison is dangerous because of fights. Nah, that ain't it. The fight usually means the pressure already been building and then it explodes. The real punishment is wondering what tomorrow brings every time keys start shaking. Because that means the deuces are going off. Violence, police is running when you hear the keys shaking. Every time somebody calls your name, just somebody yelling out your name, and you thinking it's the police coming to get you for what you did yesterday. Every time the door opens, Your mind starts asking questions. What happened now? Who wants to see me? Is this problem over? Or is it just starting? That's pressure. That's a sentence inside a sentence. That's what I call the psychological cage. When you put yourself in a psychological cage, when you put yourself in these situations that have to pressure yourself with the memories of what you know you did, you ain't had no business doing. That's why we're gonna give you the jewel. A man can survive one confrontation living under constant pressure. Is a different battle. Now, then comes the separation. Let's talk about the separation, right? If you're removed from the yard after the incident, now Diddy's in solitary confinement. Right? Everything changes. The noise disappears because you're locked in a unit with less people, less going on. The conversations disappear. The movement disappears. Now you're sitting there with nothing except time. Time to replay decisions, time to think about consequences, time to wonder what happens when that door opens again. People on the other side think being alone is peace. Sometimes it is. Being alone just means there's nothing left to distract you. So now you're stuck with no distraction of your thoughts. How did I wind up here in the first place? I should have just gave Cassie the money she wanted before she filed the lawsuit. I shouldn't have waited till the lawyer had to look at the lawsuit to decide to surrender and make a deal and pay. I could have just paid her before it went that far. Nobody would have known and I wouldn't be sitting in a cage. These are the demons that's haunting them. Now, we got to get into the truth. Freedom lets you keep moving. Prison makes you stop and face what movement can't erase. Fame stops the gate. Let's talk about how fame stops the gate. Let me tell you something I learned the hard way. Prison doesn't care who you used to be. It don't care how many records you sold. It don't care how much money you made. Don't care how many keys you sold. None of that. Everybody hears the same doors. Everybody waits for the same count. Everybody lives by someone else's schedule. That's why I tell these young brothers, don't fall in love with the image. Fall in love with your freedom, because once freedom leaves, you don't get no chance to negotiate with time. The jewel in that, right? I like to give you all the jewel, right? The jewel in that is your reputation might open doors on the street. In prison, every door is open for you by someone else. Now, what is the real lesson in this? What did you get from this is the real lesson. Don't watch this and think, that's Diddy. Watch this and ask, what decision in my own life could put me on that same road? Prison rarely starts with the cell. It starts with one bad choice, then another, until one day somebody else is controlling your calendar. Your family is counting visits instead of birthdays, and you're wishing you could rewind one moment that seemed small when you made it. Now, class, right? I want to thank you for coming. Make sure you know you got to hit the like, you got to hit emoji, you got to hit all that in order to get this in the algorithm so we get out there so the young people could get this. Now, it's your turn to report to class. Put your verdict in the comments. I'm going to ask you 10 questions because this is the end of the class. See, I kept it short. They complain. Nobody really complaining. But, what's the biggest lesson from this story? The cost of one decision, the pressure of one prison, or the danger of thinking short term instead of long term. Diddy could have thought long term and calculated how much it'll cost him to get out of all this and how much more time he would have to do. He did all that time in the RDAP, got knocked 9 months ago when it started, and then here we go get knocked again when it's getting ready to end. Like, dude, you should have knocked on wood. Now, was the fight really the story, or was it the chain of events before the fight? That's the story. Put your verdict in a comment. The chain of circumstances matter more than the confrontation itself. Remember that. Can one small decision create problems nobody sees coming? Yes, consequences often grow beyond the original choice. Remember that. Is blame sometimes more powerful than the truth in prison? People often react to what they believe happened, not just what can be proven. Now, would fame change your experience once you're incarcerated? Do you believe that fame would change your experience once you're incarcerated? Fame may bring attention, but it doesn't change the rules of confinement. Remember that. Is the hardest part of prison physical or mental? Do you think the hardest part of prison is physical or mental? Many former inmates describe the constant mental pressure as the greatest challenge. You ask them, I'm sure you know a few of us. How much is freedom really worth? How much is freedom really worth to you? Most people don't realize its value until it's gone. Why do small conflicts sometimes become major once in prison? Limited space, limited options, and constant stress magnifies disputes. Now, do young people underestimate how quickly life can change? A single decision can have consequences that last forever. And that's what the youngins need to understand. Now, this is the 9th question. Put your verdict in the comments. Let's keep it moving. What's more dangerous, impulse or pride? What do you think is more dangerous, impulse or pride? Either one can push someone toward decisions they'll regret. Now, what's your verdict from today's class? The real sentence begins long before a prison door closed. Because we can rewind this whole thing back to Diddy when Cassie went to him privately without the courts and said she wanted X amount of dollars. And he said, nah. Take it to court if you want. I got lawyers. You know how cocky Diddy was talking. He had the keys to the city at that time. Now she takes it to court, and in less than 24 hours, he said, man, I'll give you everything you wanted. You could have did that before it went that far. Now, I'm going to show you why I do what I do so you fully understand, all right?
Hey, what's going on, man? Murder Mook, Harlem, you know what it is, man. I just want to express how much gratitude I got for Unique, you know what I mean? I was telling him a story, telling him how I felt about, you know, if anything was to go wrong with my career, rap-wise, you know, if, you know, shit be slow and I got so many opportunities to be able to do the wrong shit. When I watch Unique Mecca audio, I feel it, and I, like, to my soul, and that's keeping me farthest away from doing anything criminal. Anything criminal. He made me think straight, honestly. Made me think straight, because I've been watching him for about a year, like a year now, maybe. And it just took my mind way off of that. From a year ago, it got rough. For a year ago,
Yeah.
and from watching this man, I just felt like you saved me. You saved me. And I just want to show my gratitude, and I want to say thank you, man. Unique Mecca Audio, anything you need, brother, from me.
All right.
Anything you need, man.
All right.
Hi, I watch Unique Mecca's YouTube, and it's amazing. Like, his whole story is so nostalgic. It's so like Harlem. It's so like 1980s. It's so 1999. I've been watching his channel for about 2 years, and it's very informative and it's real. You know, you don't really get the real deal from everybody, but with him, you definitely gonna get the whole real story. This is a Harlem legend, kingpin, legendary. I'm so happy to just even meet him and be in his presence. Like, his channel is very informal, and if you subscribe, you're gonna be just like me, a fan.
All right.
I'm like, oh my God, is that him? I'm all fanned out. Like, you know, it was such an experience getting the chance to meet him and, you know, being a fan of his YouTube channel and just following him for the last 2 years and knowing his story and seeing his interviews. And I support him 1000%. And I'm subscribed to his YouTube. You should go and subscribe as well. Amazing.
What you got from the channel?
History, how hard it is to be in jail, the right and wrong moves to make when you outside, how one wrong move will cost you a whole lot, to be better, to do better, a lot of stuff. You'll get a lot of stuff from his channel. You know, it's very informal, and you know, whatever that means to you, you'll definitely take a piece with you. Like, this is a good YouTube channel, honestly.
Tell them who you on, where they can find you.
Okay, I'm Cora. You can find me at Instagram on Why Hate on Her, and yeah. I just want to give a shout out to Unique Mecca Audio. He is so dope. I had the experience of actually meeting him in person. I've been a fan for 2 years, watching his story and watching his videos on YouTube. He is the bomb.com, Harlem legendary kingpin, real official. As soon as I sat down by him, I knew like it was like a different energy, a different vibe. But then once I hear his voice, I'm like, oh my God, is that him? I'm all fanned out. Like, you know, it was such an experience getting the chance to meet him and, you know, being a fan of his YouTube channel and just following him for the last 2 years and knowing his story and seeing his interviews. And I support him 1000%. And I'm subscribed to his YouTube. You should go and subscribe as well. Amazing.
What you got from the
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops. Mecca Audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours, so we can give back to the.
Cheers, cheers.